Monday.
Yep. Go on.
So good to me. Well, I say so good.
I don't think it is. I think it's Monday. Monday can't stand that day, isn't it? I quite like Mondays. It means it's not the blooming weekend anymore. The most boring 2 days on the planet.
Oh,
God, it was dull. Jesus, it was dull. Now, hello, Philip.
Oh, hello, Russell. I didn't see you there. How are you today? All right.
Wrong way.
Hang on. You're trying to high five. Hang on.
All right, here we go. Boom.
There we go.
Now, in case you're wondering why I'm dressed up like an idiot, I'll tell you for why. I was sent this, and I get sent a lot of books. This does feel we get a lot of books, we get a lot of stuff sent, and normally, thank you. But I agree with this. So the hat is "Be Kind," which I think is very nice, and it came with this T-shirt, which happens to be my favorite color. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Give us a break." It's all anti-bullying. Can you see it? Can you read it?
Bravo.
Yeah, it's an anti-bullying thing. So we hate bullying. We've dealt with bullying a lot on Men's Radio, and Phil and I have loads of discussions about it. We have loads of guests, and so you know what? I thought normally I wouldn't dress up like this because I'm not 17. You're shocked, I know, but I thought I am anti-bullying, and it was very kind of the folks to send me this. So thanks very much, and I'll wear it for this show because we absolutely hate bullying in all its forms. Morning-ish.
Russ. I would suggest that it's very kind of you to wear it for them as well. So
yeah, there is that. There is that.
What a problem.
A baseball cap. No, I wear my Barber waterproof baseball cap when I'm walking ebony. I don't walk around with baseball caps. I think they look ludicrous on someone my age. But it says "Be Kind," and I go with that. Welcome to the week, everyone, says Paul Andrews. Handsome men, says my lovely cousin Francine Warner. Now this is special. I'm not going to take the piss out of this. Sam Monroe. It was his late father's birthday today because I saw a post. I replied by just one word, "Goat." And my dad is listening from up above today. Well, Sen, I'm going to say this, and I know that we rip into each other mercilessly. I think your dad would be very proud of you. I think he would. Not only did you become a policeman and you were a murder detective with the CID, which is no small feat. And then
when I said that was no good, then you changed it to acting. So
yeah, when he was rubbish at that. Yeah. I mean, he was just rubbish at that, obviously. Turning up every day in a deerstalker hat and a magnifying glass and a meerschaum pipe was not what the CID was looking for, Sen. I'm going to be honest with you. They weren't looking for that. They were looking for a little bit more, up there. Anyway, but happy birthday to your dad. It depends if you believe in the afterlife. I don't believe in God at all, but in the afterlife, that'd be great. Because my theory is this is hell. That's my theory. I think what we go through on Earth is actually hell, and then we go on to something very nice. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. There you go.
Interesting thought there. Russell, I've got a problem.
Well, where do we start?
Now,
First of all, you're going to a wedding.
No. But that, excuse me, I don't look like I'm going to the wedding. I'm supporting
you look like you're going to a wedding, or you're going to sing the greatest hits of Sasha Distel.
Oh, dear. Anyway, right. The reason I've got a problem is I had somebody add me on Facebook the other day. Now, this person, they seem like a very nice sort of person.
Yeah, they're all mad.
And the name sounds very familiar, but I just don't understand why they added me. Have you ever heard of someone called Lauren Mishcon?
Lauren Mishcon. Let me see. Was she born in Stamford, Connecticut, and she's actually American?
I think so.
Was her father once on the radio?
Oh, now that's where it fell down. No, yes, I believe so. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Lauren Mishcon. No, name's not ringing a bell.
No. Okay.
At all.
I mean, I added because I thought it was the right thing to do, but I just thought that you might be able to shed some light.
No, mystery, total mystery. I don't know who she is at all.
Anyway,
never met her. Never used to sit up on the bathroom cabinet and take the gravel out of her knee when she fell off her little bicycle. Right. That was not me.
Okay.
Never got the call, Daddy, come and wipe my bum. Never got that. It is amazing when you get to a certain age in life and your kids.
I really hope for your sake that Lauren's not listening.
She knows. She knows. We should be walking the mad dog. Here's the thing. It is incredible when you get to a certain age, and I take great. I get such a kick out of watching what the kids do. Such a kick out of it, And I see the finishing line for me, but for them, their life is like in full swing, and I get such a kick. Lauren started with a lady called Nicole Goodman, this podcast where they road test all of these therapies, like all these nutty therapies, and they go for it to see if they're complete rubbish or they actually work. It's number one. It's like the number one podcast. It's fantastic. No PR. Daily Mail picked it up, did a big smash about it. No PR. Not Daily Mail picked it themselves. So, I'm really tickled. Very pleased for her. Where are we? She watches MRS very often, says Ed Grossman. I don't know her. A friend of Lord, I think. Lord has passed on. Lord passed on some time ago. Chrissy Holt, do you want to read this out, Sasha?
Hang on. You can't just read it out. Oh.
The Chrissy Holt one. Not good. Right.
No, in that case, I most definitely will not be putting any music to accompany that. Chrissy Holt, thank goodness, this is where you read stuff before you go.
Yeah, it's the old trick. It's a little old trick. Let me pass it on to you. Read the damn stuff before you...
She says, hi, boys. I'm in a deep depression. Spain has put us on state of emergency until May. Until May. Curfew not allowed out between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Never get to UK at this rate.
This is crap, isn't it? Is it that coronavirus goes to sleep at night and doesn't work? Is that what happens?
I suspect it is more
bullshit. What is this nonsense?
No, I suspect it's much more likely that people will be misbehaving a little bit more in the wee small hours, and therefore the only way to really keep it at bay is to ensure that it's during the daytime. But yes, I grant you that it, of course, is not completely ideal. But anyway.
Do you agree with it? I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I understand why they do it. I don't agree with it. So I understand the method behind it. I just don't agree that it is the right way forward. But look, I mean, I recognize that there are always going to be people who, well, let's be honest, you're never going to please anyone or everyone in a situation like this. And possibly it was right the first time, actually. You're never going to please everybody in a position like this. And it's arguably whoever is in power, whatever party, whatever country, arguably the most unenviable job at the moment, seriously, because no one will win in politics.
Horrendous job. Sen Munro, Dad wants to know when we're having a whiskey in his name. He says, I'm paying. The more I hear about Sen Munro's father, the more I like him. That was an important post, that Sen is putting his hand in his pocket. Presumably the time lock will be open at certain times on his pocket and wallet. I said it.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Ed Grossman is saying, no, not Lord, Lloyd.
Oh.
They're very, very similar. God and Lloyd Beanie. One's got a big straggly beard. Oh, no, they both have. Only one lives with someone called Hazel. Unless God has a wife called Hazel. Could happen. We don't know. Just like the good old days with Franco, says Ed. Regarding curfews. What the hell about this? God damn. Have you seen the nonsense that's going on in Wales, where you went for your little break? You got a comment on that?
Nonsense is most definitely the right word. And what I would love to know is, who are the Welsh government to say what's essential and what's not essential?
God knows. I
find it absolutely extraordinary how, if you were to consider baby clothes not essential and yet you consider vodka essential, then I think that's a real sad indictment as to the state of the Welsh government, frankly.
They should be held to account. They're nonsense. And from my viewpoint, how can you say that books are not essential? That's disgusting. That's like Hitler. Burn the books. Why don't you just burn the damn books and get over it? Go into Tesco's, burn all the books. There you are. You'll be doing a real job saving everybody from COVID. It's nonsense There is no logic to it whatsoever. It's absolutely ridiculous. Enough's enough. Keep pushing the people. You will have a revolution on your hands, because you'll get people who are of completely, law-abiding, and then they think, oh, screw this. We've had enough. Not listening to these rules. Then anarchy reigns. Then you got a problem, and they will have only themselves to blame.
See, I posted something the other day which luckily didn't get as much of a backlash as I thought it would do. But I do think it is super important. I mean, I mentioned the other day on the program about the statistics for, I think it was, maybe it was September. No, it was probably August. I was talking about what the biggest killers were in August. And
flu. It was flu.
Well, flu is more dangerous than...
Anywho, go on. Yeah. I'm agog, as always. I'm agog.
In any way, I decided to share this article that I was reading in The Sun. And before anyone says anything foul about The Sun, let me be very clear to you. I work for the company that owns The Sun. So
Phil's name used to be Samantha Fox. Then he had breast reduction, and now he's Phil Dave.
Yes, there you go. That is my interest. Just
that is fact. That's how it worked.
But I was reading this article that was saying that coronavirus during September was the 19th most common killer and accounted for 1.7% of all deaths in the UK. And I just wonder why it is that we don't seem to be sort of going in quite as much of a panic about the other killers that are far bigger. It doesn't make sense.
I've given up. Honestly, I've totally given up.
So I mean, and when people say, by the way, that it's because that COVID is contagious, that works as an argument so far. But with that logic, right, so you need to think along the lines of then, well, why aren't you getting tested, or why aren't you concerned? Not you. Why isn't one concerned about the other conditions that are bigger killers? So
I don't know. I can't answer these questions because there's no bloody logic towards it. There's no logic. You and I been discussing this since March, since the beginning of March, when we had to close the studio and everything like that. We closed it 2 weeks before lockdown because I just thought it was very unhygienic. And Phil and I have been in radio a long time, and radio studios are filthy. BBC talk. It doesn't matter where you go; they're all filthy.
Can we just clarify, actually, this is really interesting, okay? Flu and pneumonia, right?
Yep.
You ready for this?
I've got the rocking pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu. That's a fact.
Right. Okay. Well, according to this graph, the total number of people who died from either flu leading into pneumonia in September stands at... Surely this cannot be right. Hang on a second. Per one. I'm just trying to interpret the graph. Because
while you're doing that, I'm going to ask a quick question. You work out the maths. Larry Viner, why would anyone want to buy a whale in the first? Larry, it's Wales. It's a country.
Oh.
It's got sheep, a few mines, and some hills. Kind of it. And everyone sings. And if you're going to be attacked by Zulus, you want to have loads of Welsh people with you so they can sing back as the Zulus are singing their war chant. You can sing Men of Harlech. That's kind of it. That is Wales in a nutshell. That's a fact.
Yeah, I get that. Speaking of Wales, by the way, I don't wish to be stereotypical, but I made some...
Here we go. I don't want to be stereotypical, but I was talking to this budgerigar down a minefield with Ivor Emanuel and...
Or quite.
Go on.
But anyway, so no, I was making some soup this morning, and the soup contained leek, but it was very nice. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that.
What, you don't want to take us to the kitchen and have soup for 20 minutes?
Don't be silly. It's not Friday.
That'd be ridiculous. Right, we've got loads of stuff to talk about. Here we go. Yeah, this is true. Paul Claridge, who's probably up a ladder in East Croydon, getting beaten up by Eastern European drug gangs. That seems to be his day. That's his daily routine. How's today? I only got beaten up 3 times by Eastern European drug gangs. Okay, well, that's a good day for you. You know her, don't you, Cassidy? Do you know Cassidy, Phil?
Cassidy, yes.
Can we say a huge congratulations to one of the nicest women in entertainment, the fabulous Cassidy Jansen? Now she's bagged herself a well-earned, she's got herself a Larry. Wait for it. He won't be able to resist. You know he won't. Cassidy Jansen, a lot of people in the entertainment business are absolute monsters. They're all lovely on screen, and when you see them off screen, they are true monsters, and some of them are absolutely lovely. And Cassidy's one of the loveliest people. I first met her when she was singing with the wonderful Jive Aces, Ian Clarkson, all the gang, if you're watching. Hi, guys. And then Cassidy's just a huge talent. And then she went on to play Carole King in Beautiful and everything. And she's never changed. She's lovely, charming, and she's won a Larry. I have no idea. It means she has to live in sort of Temple Fortune. I don't know what it means. She's won the Olivia Awards. She's won herself a Larry, which is a fairly smallish person who's raving mad. Why she wants Larry Viner on her mantelpiece, I don't know. I can just about take lunch. After that, I'm out. Anyway, good luck. And Ed Grossman, do you want to read this? Do you want to put this up? It's an interesting point. Would you like to read it?
I'm sorry. I tell you what. You carry on reading it, just because I want to try and interpret.
Do this math.
Right.
No,
I don't want to it. The graph that this Sun have put out.
Yeah.
Really quite, if I'm honest, is quite misleading, and I want to interpret. No, but I want to interpret it properly, and I don't want to misquote.
Sir Cliff Richard, Russ, Phil, can we talk about Sir Cliff, please? He came out last night on the Piers Morgan show. Is that old news? Oh, did he? I haven't seen the show. I haven't seen the show. I don't want. Did he really? Ed, did he? Sure. You serious? Oh gosh, he'll be doing car adverts next. So very Schofield. Makes me want to throw up, to be honest. Ed, I love Cliff. Cliff is a charming, delightful man. I've been a fan of Cliff Richard since I was a little boy, sort of 1958. I was a little kid. And do you know, I think my happiest memory, it was a summer's day, and I was very little. And I remember so clearly, I was in Southgate, which is North London. And I was walking hand in hand, because I was that little, with my mum. And I was singing a Cliff Richard song. And I was just very little. And I remember that like it was yesterday. So I always bless him for that. And then I saw him in Panto when I was a little kid. He was in Aladdin. It was fantastic. Every time he came on, it was at the Palladium. And every time he came on, the whole Palladium just erupted, just erupted. They went absolutely wild for him. He's a charming, charming man. And everybody in the industry likes him, admires him. He's hugely popular. And I don't care, gay, not gay. It makes absolutely no difference. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And I have never met anyone who has said a bad word about Sir Cliff Richard. And what the police and the media did, what the police did was disgusting. Disgusting. And that's all I have to say about Cliff. He's a terrific guy, a wonderful entertainer. And he has a legacy of some of the best tunes in pop. They're wonderful pop tunes.
Never doubted him for a second when all of this nonsense started, by the way.
Rubbish. It was absolutely rubbish.
Just to make myself very clear here, sort of the reason why I'm sort of struggling a little bit with these numbers is actually, I've just done a little search online. This goes to show where the confusion lies. And it's not really a wonder that there is so much confusion, because I've put here, according to this graph that is in this article from The Sun, they have said that biggest killers in September.
Having lunch with Larry Viner.
In at number 7, bearing in mind that COVID-19 was in at number 19, ironically.
19. Paul Hardcastle.
Flu and pneumonia came in at number 7 as being
the last pop pickers.
Now, thank you. The way that this graph is laid out is it would suggest, and this is totally and utterly not true,
go on,
but it would suggest that I think what it's doing is it's demonstrating per 100,000 people in England. This is what it seems to be doing according to the numbers. So flu and pneumonia in at just over 2 million. Now, that can't be 2 million deaths in September. That would be impossible.
Of course it would be like the Black Death. This is nonsense.
But what I suspect it means is per 100,000. So in other words, 100,000 in 2-point-something million. But even then, the numbers still don't add up. However, I thought, well, this is ridiculous. It can't be true. So I did a search. How many people died from flu and pneumonia in September 2020? And the results that come back are absolutely staggering based on the paper that you align yourself to. Okay.
Right. Morning Star.
Headline for the Telegraph. Okay. Yeah, flu deaths fall as ONS says, many who were vulnerable may have died in first COVID wave.
What did you say? 4? 4?
No. Flu deaths fall as ONS says that many who were vulnerable may have died in the first COVID wave. Okay? So that's the way the Telegraph have reported this from 2 days ago.
I'm not following this at all. Go on.
Then if you look at the Guardian from 2 weeks ago,
Jews give you COVID, says the Guardian.
Stop it. COVID
Jeremy Corbyn can prevent you from getting COVID if you lick his backside, says the Guardian.
Oh my God. Ooh, good Lord. All right. Guardian.
COVID, it's a Zionist plot, says the Guardian.
The Guardian says COVID deaths 3.4 times higher than flu and pneumonia. ONS data. That's from 2 weeks ago. And then from 4 weeks ago, the Sun says flu and pneumonia killed 10 times more Brits than coronavirus again last week. New stats show. So doesn't it just go to
sexy secretary Susan Smith, aged 19, pictured here in a bikini during the summer in your Soaraway Sun?
But doesn't it just go to show that depending on where your allegiance lies in terms of who you trust,
no one knows.
Exactly.
They don't know what they're doing.
How the hell can anyone know what truly goes on? So actually, that is why I'm backing off from reading this particular sort of statistic, because I'm being honest with you, I can't interpret the graph. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. And honestly, now I'm thinking of deleting the post because really, I'm not actually sure that it's very fair to put it out.
You know what? This is just garbage. Everyone's piling in today. This is really good. This is really lovely. Let's catch up with some of these comments here. Michael Swindles, and thank you, Michael. By the way, Michael and I had a very interesting interchange about the J.K. Rowling book. 900 pages, Jesus. Agree, but coming out by people in the public eye is still important and a relevant thing to do. Why? Only if you're lying. If you're lying, I don't care. What difference? I don't care. Doesn't affect me, doesn't affect you, doesn't affect Phil. You know, gives a good goddamn. It's only if you're lying, like somebody we know, and pretending, then because it's duplicitous and it's bullshit, you know, and it's not brave for everybody, for everyone who's come out and said, you know, I'm gay, and taken all the brickbats and all the rude comments and God knows what else over the years. They're damn brave. It is not brave to hide. So, you know, I find it extraordinary, you know. Hopefully we'll eradicate. Well, I don't think Cliff Richard on his own is going to eradicate homophobia. I don't think that's going to happen. But, you know, we don't care. We love Cliff. We love Cliff. We love Barry Manilow. You know, you can admire them as artists. What difference? You're not dating them. You're not, married to them.
I just find it really odd. Yeah. I just find it really odd how it's necessary in this day and age.
Why is it necessary to come out and say anything? I don't get the point. Who cares?
No, but this is the whole point. It shouldn't even be a thing. What I don't get is, what does it matter? Just
what does it matter? You're going to listen to his records differently? No. You're going to dislike him unless you're an idiot? No.
But it's not even. I don't even mean just Sir Cliff. I mean, I don't understand sort of why it is that anyone on any level, whether they are famous or not famous, it just doesn't even
need
conversation.
I'm still waiting for Timmy Alexis Carrington Smith to Carrington Ward. Do you think? I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do you think he could be, you know, a little bit?
I mean, not that I think it matters, but, you know.
No. It's just that he keeps breaking into show tunes when you're trying to have dinner with him and then getting up and doing dance routines from the Nolans.
I know. I just
wish I was joking.
That's all.
I wish I was joking. Here we go. Let's deal with some of these comments. There's some great comments here. Michael Swindles again. I get what you mean, but it does still matter. It encourages everyone else to come out naturally. Well, you know, come out, don't come out. Hey, you judge people. If you're a proper human being, you judge people on how they are, not who they are or how much they earn or what they do for a living. If they're a nice person and you like them, they're a nice person and you like them. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. You know, hence this hat, which I'm wearing, which I was sent just to support the charity. I'm not involved with the charity, by the way. I'm just thinking it was a nice thing to do. Be kind. Not the world's worst thing to do. It doesn't cost you anything. Be kind to people. Lisa Noon. we read that one. Read that one. Listen, Cliff Richards seems such a nice guy. He is. I've had the pleasure of meeting him on a number of occasions. He's absolutely freaking charming. And it's not an act. He's just a lovely person. He's just a really very nice person.
And I can't tell you how it annoyed me that there was a photo. I don't actually often do this. In fact, I make a real point of it. That if
on paying for a round,
the countless number of people, yeah, that as well. The countless number of people that I've met over the years who are of certain fame, and there's no point of sitting here name dropping because I find it abhorrent and I find it really sort of distasteful. But I actually sort of asked Sir Cliff for a photo with him, and I think there's been a total of 4 people I've done that with over the years, and 2 of them don't live in this country, which is why. So,
the King of Spain, Prince Albert of Monaco.
No, my point is that I thought that sort of it makes, to me, it sort of makes sense that someone of Sir Cliff's status,
yeah,
you know, it possibly is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I did it anyway. The backlash I got from having a photo with him was unflipping.
From who? Were they just jealous or what?
No, not jealous. People just said, "Oh, was he inappropriate with it?" This was not long actually before.
Oh, please tell me you're joking.
No. This is not long before some of the.
Was he inappropriate with you?
Was he inappropriate?
For God's sake!
Where was his photo? And I don't think they were joking. And I just get lost.
Do people still think? I'm going to just put my hand in the hornet's nest. Do people think that being homosexual means that you're a predator? Of course it bloody doesn't. This is ridiculous. This is out the freaking arc. Stop it. Stop it. For goodness sake. Lee Durnford, this is good news. Hi guys, flash mob, first flash mob complete. Do you remember we were having Lee talking last week about these flash mob things? It was in Leicester Square today. Be kind indeed.
Well, that was
you gotta love it. Michael Swindles, quite agree, but our society isn't quite as balanced as good people assume. What? As good people assume. No, it's not balanced. It's all mad and it's all going mad. Now, I wanted a comment. There was a comment earlier which I really, really loved from a lady. Francois Pascal, I simply adore Cliff Richard. He was my idol since childhood. He's a fabulous singer. Who cares whether he's gay or not? He's a lovely human being and a great singer. A legend. Francois, what's French for legend? I really don't know. Michael Swindle, absolutely. Was it?
It's legend.
Larry Viner, you shut the face. Larry, you're buying lunch on Thursday now. You pissed me off. That's it. You're buying the lunch for me and Lloyd. You're buying the whole lunch. And I'm having lobster. There we are. I've been saying it. Hey, Sam Monroe, this is good news. My cousin, Aaron Gordon, Flash, is the producer of Piers Morgan's Life Stories. Does he go, hi, Piers? You sit down and look like you're really interested in what you say. Does he do that?
I don't understand sort of why your Turkish accent sounds more Russian.
I don't know, because maybe I'm originally Russian.
Oh my God, I've just realised what it is. You're that voice of that blooming meerkat advert.
I bloody wish I was. Mate, I'll be rolling in it.
Yes, it comes out now.
Compare the market. Back to Deborah Williams. Oh, Williams, look you.
Hang on. There you go. Francois says Legende. I wasn't far off.
That's such a. Put that photo back up. God, was Francois Pascal the most gorgeous woman on television? Jeez, seriously. I don't think there's ever been a more beautiful woman on television. And in Mind Your Language, you just sit there going, "Oh my God." You just sit there with you. Right. My friend.
There speaks a man who clearly, putting it out there, has not seen Mo Molam.
She's dead, Mo Molam. She died.
No, I know.
Can you do a Mo Molam gag? Do an Anne Widdecombe gag. She's at least alive.
Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, right, fine.
She's going to come back tonight and haunt you. Hey, I got one word to say, Phil Dave. Everybody, watch his face, watch his face, watch his face. Gazebo.
Yes. What about the gazebo?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us? How is your gazebo in your garden, Phil?
Well, I think that the only way I could truly animate this is with a couple of before and after shots, ladies. And unfortunately, there's a little bit of a mishap in the Dave household.
What a slight mishap, was it? Slight mishap. How's the Titanic? Slight mishap. Apart from that, everything's great.
Well, look,
nothing you want to worry about. It's fine. It's fine.
So anyway, I decided maybe about a week or so ago that I was going to put up a gazebo, you see, just in the garden, because at least this way, then we'd be able to have family and friends over, obviously within the rule of 6, but it would be in an outdoor environment, bought a fire pit and everything. Anyway, so I put
a fire pit.
Put up the gazebo. Look at that. There
nice. This is the proper. I hope somebody around the corner is watching this. This is the gazebo, right? Very nice.
There you go. So put up the gazebo.
Very nice. Tim is all ready to come round. All right, go on.
Right. Put up the gazebo. Anyway, over the weekend, we had some rather unfortunate weather.
Did we?
You may have...
I know. I got soaked. I'm already brewing a cold. Thank you, Cousin Sal.
Despite
go on.
efforts to peg down said gazebo, Sunday morning, this was what was waiting for us.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So you were in charge. You had one job to do, right? Your parents tolerate you. You had one job to do, put up the gazebo. What did you do? You messed it up.
Well, sadly, ever so sadly, the gazebo is no more. I would like
completely trashed. In all seriousness, is it ruined?
Oh, it's in the skip. Seriously, it's actually gone to the dump. We throw it out. It's totally and utterly wrecked.
Kidding me? I was joking. I thought it was just fallen over. Oh, I feel a bit embarrassed.
Totally and utterly wrecked.
I'm really embarrassed now.
No, don't be. Lisa, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. But I can't take credit. It's my oldest design. But the framework, which is a beautiful garden, but the framework, by the way, of the gazebo, which is
you read Michael Swindle's comment. You said, rather than a 900-page book, you can weigh the gazebo down with. I got to be honest, between the gazebo and her book, I'd rather that J.K. Rowling's last book was in the skip, not the gazebo. God,
well, anyway, what happened was that the weather was a bit brutal, to say the least.
Bloody awful. I was sitting out having lunch with it.
As the rain came pouring down, the rainwater was sort of slowly but surely gathering into the middle of the canvas of the gazebo, weighing it down, 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 down. And that's why it looked like a spider. And in the end, what happened is that it was weighing down so heavily that beautiful brand new fire pit that I bought with the guard was dented because the actual framework of the gazebo had sunk into it.
Oh, crap. Oh, dear.
So the new look garden lasted all of about a week. Anyway, I'm pleased to say that over the weekend, recovery efforts were made. The garden now looks absolutely fine, and the gazebo has been appropriately thrown away, and the fire pit was salvaged. I managed to fix it.
They're not cheap gazebos, are they? They're not inexpensive, because I've been having, for reasons that I won't bore you with, but it actually involves you, Mr. Phil Dave.
Oh, yes.
From somebody saying, I'm going to get a gazebo. Then we can invite... From the gazebo, we seem to have moved up to an igloo. I swear to God, conversations I have. I said, what do you mean an igloo? Where are we going to get ice? And it's going to last, especially when I'm smoking my cigars. Anyway, so the igloo was like a lot of money. And I said, this is ridiculous. We don't need to see Phil Dave so desperately.
Might I suggest that the best thing in order to do to protect one's gazebo, and this sounds very lewd, but the best thing to do in order to protect one's gazebo is to maybe, when there are weather forecasts will suggest that the weather is not so great, take it down and don't be lazy like me thinking, it's be fine, it's all right.
Excuse me, Saturday, right? It was not meant to be raining, and it was a small percentage of rain till 3 o'clock. So my cousin said, so I went to meet my cousin for lunch, sitting outside, all socially distanced, marvelous. So the awning, here's the thing. This is the bit you'll love, right? They had a great big, what do you call it? Like a marquee. No, they wouldn't have that because they thought, a la Phil Dave and his gazebo, there was too much weight. So he couldn't sit under that. So I thought, we'll sit out. All right. So we're all sitting outside, just the two of us, but everybody else, but all the tables are socially distanced. It's fine, right? Not taking any chances. They've got awnings. Evenings and mornings, I have awnings, but the awnings are automatic. If the wind gets over I never knew this. It starts to rain, the bloody awnings go back. I was soaked. I've been soaked for like 2 days. soaked. My seat in my car soaked. I had to go down. I was using Febreze and I'm trying to dry the bloody thing.
There is actually a reason why, up until COVID was invented, that most Brits only ever sat outdoors during the summer months. It's because
we're stupid.
Because in
stupid.
We are not conditioned. We are not conditioned to sit outdoors. It's not rocket science. It didn't come as a massive shock. We have actually known this for a good number of years. And the fact that now we're trying to defy those odds and defy British weather by somehow miraculously becoming a country that sits outdoors all year round, frankly, is bonkers.
Was the food good? I had a bloody sandwich. This is from Chrissy Richards in Spain. No, I had we didn't look like a lunch. I had like a club sandwich, which was not great. I'll be honest, because I was so wet. I was so wet. We sat looking at each other going, only the British would do it. This is so English. Everyone's sitting here carrying on as though we're not sitting in a bloody monsoon. It's absolutely bonkers. Just reading Russ's books. Sen Monroe, shut your face. Lisa Noon, you're hilarious. Sen Monroe. No, he's not. You haven't met him. Trust me, he's not funny. No, don't big him up, for Christ's sake. Now, Ken Amjanur, very good point. Going back to being gay.
An extra E.
Yeah, extra E. It's Sen Monroe. There's no E on the end of it.
Hang on.
Of course. No, you see, I can see because I got my special charity hat on.
Oh.
I'm not even sure what charity it is. It's be kind. It's fair enough. I just wear it the one day. I never wear hats when I'm broadcasting. It's ridiculous. But I'm just supporting a charity today. Of course, there was a time when it was a criminal offence. That's being homosexual. When I was at school, our divinity master went to prison for having, oh dear Christ, went to prison for having sex with a sailor under deck chairs on the beach. Okay. Then the government published what was labelled the Wolfenden Report for misguided weapons. You lost me now. I remember the Wolfenden Report. What do you mean for misguided weapons? Explain.
I hope he's not being lewd.
I think he's being lewd.
Yeah.
It's a knob gag. Anyway, it was illegal. I never quite understood why, but there we go. Things indeed do change.
This is what I don't understand is what do they think was going to happen? If you could argue that, don't get me wrong, it absolutely should never be and will never be illegal to procreate, i.e. man and a woman get together and make love and all that malarkey. Fine.
I'm not sure. I think it's heading that way. I think you're not allowed to be.
No, but hang on a second.
I think you're allowed to be over 40 and straight. But there you go.
What the heck did they think was going to happen if two men or two women got together? So this is what I don't.
Well, I don't even think they thought about the women. I don't even think they thought about that. It was just the guys. What did they think was going to happen? It would. What I think their feeling was that it would detract from the moral stability of the nation. I think, in all honesty, I think that's what it was. I mean, who the hell? Who cares? Who cares? Lee Durnford, Mr. Flashmob. I usually do bangers and burgers on the barbecue on 5th of November. Nothing quite like it. Really? Alex Listenfeld, one of our lovely broadcasters. Has anyone watched The Boys in the Band? Fabulous. I remember the original film, so I can't be bothered to watch it again. I saw the film. That was enough for me. Sam Monroe, waiting for my invite. Don't hold your breath, fella. You will go blue in the face. Ed is absolutely right. It's absolutely right. Has there ever been a bigger force for evil than? Well, don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
No, don't get started because it will be.
I find it so depressing. Millions of people who've died because of religion and a book, one book. God.
Okay, all right. Let me put it another way, though. What about the millions of people who have died ultimately for money? If you look at things like the war caused by oil or what have you, but you wouldn't want to see that eradicated per se. You'd want to see
greed for oil. I'd love to see greed for oil eradicated. Of course, I would.
No. Greed for oil is very different. But you're not that you would like to see technically religion eradicated. No.
Yeah, probably.
Right. So, what's the difference between wanting to see religion eradicated and oil? Because they are, in your eyes, the sort of problem.
Because if I put the Bible under the bonnet of my car, it's not going to help it run. oil is.
Now, hang on, but it doesn't mean that people haven't died for it. Your reason behind wanting to see religion abolished is because how many millions of people have died for it.
Yeah.
And if you look at things like wars that have been surrounding oil, then people have died.
Yep. Right. Well, okay. What do you want me to do?
Argue. Damn it.
It's Monday. I got a long day ahead of me. Michael Swindle.
A chat show and say, what do you want me to do? I know this is not a chat show, but come on.
What I want me to do about, it's like it's the same thing as being gay. You know, what you do in your private life, it's just none of my business. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's not my concern. And fine, you know. But it's just, I don't know. I find it just desperate. Hang on. Section 28 was pushed through in 1988 and made it illegal for a school to even mention homosexuality. Really? Is this true?
Hardly distant history. Wow.
Michael Swindles is a very interesting fellow because he has a lot of facts and figures. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just being serious. How do schools square the Bible teaching with the so-called liberal view on sex education, self-ID? I'm not going to use that word. Don't use that word. I can't use that word now. That would be offensive.
I apologize for putting that comment.
That would be offensive. But
I just say, hang on. I apologize for putting that comment on screen before reading it. I'm very sorry. So
that's all right.
For any offense,
you're only 19. What do you know? It's your first week in radio. It's and I'm not a liberal tree hugger, but you know, even I have certain sensibilities that I would acknowledge.
No, that's not about. No, that is not about being a tree hugger or anything like that. Mm-hmm. There are some words that are widely in society as being offensive to some, and we've got to respect that. I don't necessarily understand how all of them that are so-called offensive to society are offensive, but it doesn't mean that I'd use them openly either.
Well, what you do in your private, you know, what you say privately is different when we're on radio. Yes, misinterpretation of the Catholic Church. Supply of oil from Middle East and religion have been closely linked for decades. For decades, of course, says Paul Andrews. Look, Chrissy, look at Iraq. What am I supposed to do? I'm looking at What do you mean, look at Iraq, Chrissy? What does that mean? Look at Iraq.
A war for oil.
Look at my hat. Look at my hat. We're going to start looking at things. Give us a break. Say no to bullying. There we go.
I'm very hungry today.
I'm not. I have no hunger. I have not been feeling 100%. I'll let you know when, Sen, but I won't invite Russ, as he's just dismissed my comment about the revival of Boys in the Band.
Yeah, but no, someone.
She's unbelievable. Right. No martinis for you, Alex. You've been told. That's it. I'm going to phone your dad, Jimmy. It's going to be trouble now. Section 20. Michael, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know what Section 28 is. I don't pretend to know everything. What's Section 28? It was repealed in June 2000. Okay, that's 20 years ago, and I don't know what it is. There, I've said it. Go sue me.
Clause 28 of the Local Government Act 1988 caused the addition of Section 2A to the Local Government Act of 1986, which affected England, Wales, and Scotland. Okay, that's really helpful. Thanks. I don't know what it is. Originated in the transition in British society from homosexuality being illegal to legal, but still discriminated against. There you go.
Discriminated. I'm all at sea here. I've never understood this. I think also they didn't want it in the army because the thinking was that, you know, if you were gay and you were in the army and you were given an order, suddenly you wouldn't follow it. There is absolutely no joined up logic there whatsoever. But that was the thinking, that they would not say when they went, right, attack, and over the top we go. And all the gay guys were, I don't think so. I'm just having a cappuccino. I can't be bothered. I mean, that was not going to happen. So there was no logic to it, if you think about it. So not the Road Traffic Act.
Doesn't sound like
You know when I said earlier in the show that your dad, whose birthday it is today, would be very proud of you? Can I now redact that statement?
Oh, that's harsh.
I'm redacting it. No. No cappuccino. I can't be... Chrissy Richards, I've just had jacket with beans.
No, don't start talking about food. I'm hungry.
What? You're always hungry, and you're the size of a pencil, which is really bloody annoying. I've just had a jacket with beans. I'm not hungry, but comfort eating. I'm comfort drinking. I find that helps. Yeah.
Drink aware, please.
Well, I don't drive. I'm not going anywhere. Drink aware. Don't drink. Where am I driving to?
Doesn't
nowhere.
It doesn't mean
bloody nowhere. Do you think anyone's still getting their car serviced? It's like you've put on 3 miles in a year. You know, how's that going to work?
I had to get the tire changed this morning, actually.
Oh, why? You've had the car 5 minutes. How can you get the tire changed? You went over a nail or something.
No, it was a screw in the middle of the tire, which was very annoying.
Do you want your gift, Russ Kane? Yeah, sure. Why not? I think so.
Also worth looking at the voting statistics for same-sex marriage.
I can't wear this hat anymore. It's driving me mad.
Conservatives voted overwhelmingly against. Now, but Michael Swindles, hang on a second, right?
Yeah.
I need to ask a question about this, and I'm being perfectly serious. And I'm sorry to take it down this route, but seeing as that's what's been brought up.
Go on.
Right. You say, look at it by party. Well, first and foremost, you can't be massively shocked that the Conservative government or the Conservative Party, who pride themselves on tradition by and large, have voted against something like that. The other thing...
Clues in the name there, Phil.
But you should consider as well that actually it was Conservative and Liberal government that brought that in. So whether they voted against it or not is kind of irrelevant, because it was under Conservative and Liberal coalition, I recognise that same-sex marriage was actually introduced in this country. So that in itself is a bit of a juxtaposition, I suppose. But the main point I was going to make is that I actually don't have too much of a problem when people struggle a bit with same-sex marriage, because whether it's a case of re-educating or not, so be it. But the reason why I kind of understand that is because marriage as an institution, since goodness knows what year, has been between, I beg your pardon, a man and a woman. Now, does that make it right or wrong? I don't know. I've got my views. I'm not going to share that. But I can sort of understand why people are averse to that kind of change, because it's something that has been going back so long, way before government intervention, anything like that. It's a religious institution where man and woman have become married, that I can understand people getting a bit twitchy about that. Now, whether or not I think it's right or wrong that they're twitchy about it, it's irrelevant.
Here's my view.
I think you should be aware that people will be a bit twitchy about stuff like that.
If two people meet and fall in love and want to be together forever, how lovely. Who are we to say you can't do that? It's nonsense. Not in our purview to do so. However, I have one caveat. Because if a gay couple who've got married get divorced, I want them to go through the same shit that everybody else does when they get divorced. I do not want to get out of jail free card. I want it to be as brutal and as ghastly as any other divorce. Then do what you like. Fill your boots.
Michael Swindles, but popes had to die for a mere 900 years. Now they retire. Well, it's not strictly speaking true. The truth is that if you have a look at, say, the way that kings and queens work as well, kings and queens for centuries died.
Leave Timmy out of this, for God's sake. Before they come into every conversation.
Before their successor takes the crown. Mm-hmm. But of course, occasionally, kings and or queens do abdicate. So, strictly speaking, is it any different? Probably not.
I'll tell you what I think. I think if they want to save the monarchy in the UK, what they should do is Her Majesty should retire. She is utterly magnificent. She has served this country and this nation with such devotion. I'm an enormous fan of Her Majesty and Philip. And I think they should skip.
Oh, you mean Prince Philip, right? Sorry.
Not you. Oh, God, everything's about you, isn't it?
No, but I thought you were putting this on a parallel. I mean, I can understand the confusion there. I thought you were on a par.
Yeah, the way you have served the nation since the 50s, 1953, when you weren't even thought of. Right. And I think they should skip Charles and Camilla, not because I don't like them, I do. And I think they should regenerate the whole thing, a bit like Doctor Who with William and Kate. And I think that'd be the sensible thing to do. Give it a modern look.
Imagine how hacked off Prince Charles would be. He's waited all these years to get the throne, and now you want to bypass it?
Well, I tell you what. It was what I was saying earlier in the show, right? And I'm not taking off the hat, by the way. I just feel silly wearing a baseball hat unless it's raining. I'm just, I'm not 12. So, but thank you for that. I love the hat. I will wear it again. When I was talking about the kids, right? When I see what the kids do, I don't sit here going, "Oh, she's got the #1 podcast." My daughter, she's got the #1 podcast. #1 in the chart from nothing. Wow, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for them, and I think that's what a parent does. Any parent who isn't excited by their kid's success is you really look at yourself. You really want to look at yourself there. Agree with Ramsey says, agree with bypassing Charles will send him mad. Well, he won't be. I'm not saying he's going to be thrilled, but I just think it would be nice for William and Kate to get a real run at it. And I think it would be a rejuvenation to that. I think it's maybe other people think it's utterly irrelevant. I don't know. It's a kind of, who knows? Michael Swindles.
By the way, so we should really read this before we completely bypass it. It's a generational thing. My kids are not phased about it at all. We're talking about the same-sex marriage here. They don't even think about it. And Russ, I agree with what you are saying. There you go.
What's that about the martinis?
Yes.
About the martinis. I just said to
the monarchy, Chrissy Richards. I don't agree with that at all. Charles should be king.
Okay, it was a suggestion. Look, here's the Christy. Let's not worry about it because they're not going to phone me up, Russ. The future of the monarchy relies on what would you do? Well, this is what I would do, Charles. I don't think they're going to phone me up and ask for my views. I just think it'd be a good thing.
Courage. I agree with Russ. Skip Charles and Camilla. Camilla even.
Camilla. And chlamydia.
I'm that straight up.
You see, this is the problem. You've been out for the weekend. You're worried about chlamydia. I can tell it.
And let William and Kate have a go. So there you go. Yeah. They will have a go one day, but when it's their turn. Goodness sake.
But I think Kate has been just fantastic. There's something about her. I think she's great.
I agree.
And comparisons are odious. Meghan. I wouldn't say anything about, Meghan, but I wouldn't do that. There we are. Charlie deserves to be king for a day, and he can't be king for a day. That's less than Phil's gazebo was up.
I mean, he'd go from crown to frown.
Liking it.
Thank you.
Boom. Very, very good. That's I don't know if it's going to happen. Not going to happen. It's just a thought. It was just an idle thought crossing my. But I don't want the Queen to give up. She won't give up. She's in her 90s. She's done a magnificent job. I think she deserves to have a wonderful retirement. Not because she's not able. I just think she deserves to be loved. As any person of that age. Forget that she's the Queen. Any person. Russ, do you remember the TV special Charles 111? Oh, Charles III. God. It would tell you why Charles should step down now. I don't remember the TV special Charles III. I think I've been presented to Prince Charles on about 5 occasions. And every time you think, I'm going to be cool, I'm going to be fine. And you see him approaching the lineup or whatever, and I go to bits. It's absolutely ridiculous. I absolutely go. Why? I don't know. I think I've met. How many men? I met Edward. I used to work with Sophie, so I know her quite well. I was I've not met Andrew. I'm not missing much there. Met Fergie. Had a chat with her. She was kind of all right. Prince Charles about 5 times. Met Diana on a few occasions. Stunning. What can I say? Absolutely amazing. Full luminosity. The effect that when she walked into a room was, I can't describe it. When she walked into a room, it was like the lights came on. Silly. And I'm not looking at it with rose-tinted glasses from the past. Looking at it how it was. Place, it was just, who else? Met Philip and spoken to him. He was scary, but very nice to me, but scary. think that's everybody. I've not met Princess. Oh, yes, I did once meet Princess Anne, who probably should have been the monarch because she's brilliant. And that's it. Is that everybody? Can't think of anybody else. Is there anyone left? Phil?
Michael Swindle says, bring back Fergie.
Oh, Jesus, no. God, no. God, no. I met her. She was... actually, I walked... In typical Russy style, I walked up and introduced myself to her. I did. I thought, sod it. I was at some do. I travelled absolutely miles. I think I was chief barker of Variety, the children's charity. I walked miles, and the people didn't have the courtesy to introduce me to the guest of honour. I thought, well, screw this. It's taken me hours to get here. So I just got up from my seat, walked over, and we had a chat. She was perfectly nice. When William and William and Kate become king and queen, that will send Harry and Meghan mad. With any luck. With any luck, Canal. I'll say this. I'm not going to get into the whole I'll just say this. That anybody...
Charles is written.
What's that? Put Phil, Dave and Chantal Rickards on the throne.
In a million...
Chantal would be good. Chantal would be good. She could just sit there and then we can go. We change the national anthem to We Love TV. We just sit there. Every time she appears on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, we'd all get our dusters, go, We Love TV. 20,000 people.
I'm really sorry. I don't care if there's a bookshelf in the background or not now. It is so boiling in this room. I'm just opening the door now before.
Well, that's because you're wearing a cravat and a jacket and a shirt and probably thermal underwear, knowing you. There we go. Anybody who deprives grandparents in their 90s, great-grandparents in their 90s of seeing a baby, that's all you need to know about someone. That's all you need to know. Don't need to know anything else. It tells you everything you need to damn well know. There we are. Well, we've covered a hell of a lot of stuff, which I hope has helped people's mental attitude today. Certainly, it's cheered me up. That's the point. Obviously, it's all about me. No, I hope it's cheered you up a little bit too. Phil, you look immaculate today. I'm missing your dad dashing in and out like Usain Bolt.
The launch of the Poppy Appeal begins. I thought it was only appropriate.
Is it today that it starts?
Apparently. Well, no, I think it started possibly yesterday by the look of it. I saw people wearing...
Yeah, I'm big on it. I support it hugely. And the people who moan and groan and, just shut up. The reason you're even allowed... The reason you're allowed to open your mouth, you morons, is because the people died for your liberty. So shut up.
Those who wear the white poppies deserve to be slapped. So there you go.
It's just, you know what? You're pathetic. Or not you. They're pathetic. They truly are. They've got no idea about history, no idea about the reality of life. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You really should. People died. People died so you could open your stupid gob. And that's the truth of it. That's what it boils down to. And that, just makes me sick. Makes me sick. Monday Blues. Ed, well, look, Ed, I'm going to say this. About just over a week ago, you were in hospital. Everyone was bloody worried. You may have the Monday blues, but we're happy that you're out of hospital. We're happy that everybody's still with us. Our little men's radio family. It really is. It's kind of how it feels. I think it's a lovely thing. Kenel, Fleet Street runs through your blood and DNA every time. Every time. You have to look up Ken Elm's comment. Phil, don't put it up on screen. François Pascal, I am a foreigner in this country, but I am proud to wear the poppy and I am proud to be British.
And Francois, we are proud to have you.
You're damn right we are. Are you kidding? How much pleasure has François Pascal given everybody over the years?
And might I suggest as well how perfectly patronizing for someone of my age to say such a thing to Francois, who is a living legend, and not to mention that the fact that I probably wasn't even born when you came here, I think that says everything you need to know about the mentality of the British. Frankly, it's no one's business. So very, very happy to call you a fellow citizen. And on that note, I'm going
Bien sûr. C'est fantastique.
Anyway,
Légende.
Shall we do it all over again on Wednesday? I think we should.
Be rude not to. That's what I'm saying. Be rude.
Be so kind as to join us when we return midday on Wednesday here on Men's Radio Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you very much indeed for all of your comments and for joining in today. It's been a good show, I would say, all round.
It's been jolly. It's been lively. It's been full of energy.
Bye bye. See you on Wednesday at midday.